V12 has already driven some really powerful changes in the home retailer vertical. Take us through those results and tell us how that came to be. And I mean, wow, these numbers are astounding. We're looking at the right side here for this outcome.
Right, and these are good goals because there's two different verticals, right? The first one on the left-hand side, a furniture retailer, and you can imagine movers critically important, right? We all go through that from the one house to the next house. You know, first there's, hey, this furniture is not going to fit in this new house, so I need to replace it all. And then you move into the new house, and some of the things you brought with you, you're like, oh, why did I bring that with? I need to update the look, and it's a new home, it's a new life, right? So furniture. This particular retailer chain, we've been working with them on mover marketing for a while, and you can see the numbers cumulative over the course of a year or two boost revenue by millions of dollars because we help them acquire thousands of new customers, over 6,000 orders, and it's all on an incremental basis, right? Because when you identify consumers in your market, they may not be, furniture might not be as top of mind, and it costs a little bit more to make them understand or to get them from a research state to a buying state. But the move is such a strong signal for furniture that whoever is moving, they are now evaluating all of their furniture, and they could easily be moved for new versus keep the old, right? And so being able to help them target those movers from the start of the planning of the move through the move, even post 3-6 months later, we still see big lift in conversion, just knowing where they are and how long they've been in that address. And so that's pure on an acquisition basis. Sorry, my earbud keeps falling out. The flip side, home retailer, this is another interesting one, different vertical, but that's more about maintaining the home on a do-it-yourself basis. And so just understanding the move helps them know, as you mentioned, retention, which customers are at risk, right, because they're moving, and then helps them understand that they can use that retailer as they prepare their house to sell, then go into the new house, do some home improvement projects before they move in, and then move in. So for us for them, our value proposition to them was the whole concept at Porch is we understand the move signal earlier, and we understand it on more of the United States than anybody else. And you can kind of see those lifts there, almost a 50% lift in scale, and identifying those audiences of 35% sooner than everybody else. And so once that retailer knows that, then their CRM, they can change their CRM efforts to communicate directly with their known customers to make sure they have the right message and they understand the products and services that home retailer can provide to them in this critical time.
So two quick comments there, Lucy, if that's okay. So the CMO of the furniture chain store, his exact words were, I don't know why anybody would not run this program. It is like printing money. So that's just a fabulous comment, right? You always want to use that comment. On the second case study, one of the things that I think is like really important is a lot of times when people are evaluating the results of a mover program, they compare movers to other marketing programs that they're running, right? And so when you look at some of the results, they're comparing it to like another type of program they're running. In this case, they actually compared like our pre-mover data to other pre-mover data in the industry. And so when you look at these results, that even makes it more powerful, right? Because this was taking our pre-mover data compared to all the other competitor pre-mover in the industry, and this was the lift above all the competition. So that's even better, right? Than when you think about it, because it's not pre-mover above just consumer data, right? It's pre-mover above other pre-mover data. Because one of the big things to understand about our pre-mover data is that we are out there 14 to 17 days earlier than other types of pre-mover data that's out there in the industry. And when you're thinking of a pre-mover, 14 to, I mean, that's key. Like that's huge because that's 2 to 3 weeks, right? And you're a pre-mover for probably at most 6 to 9 weeks. So that's 1/3 of your time, right? And so that it's just key.
Right. That's another good point you brought there, Michelle, is, and Lucy, you touched on it earlier. This is a good example of audience planning, particularly that home retailer, because they know move puts consumers into a different buying pattern than everybody else. And so you plan around the consumers rather than, hey, it's the first of the month and I'm going to send out all of these, freestanding inserts, or I'm going to, run an ad on a football game. That sort of media planning catches some people in an intent signal, but you have to do it in a broad way. Whereas this is, here's the people with this strong buying signal because it's a move. Now talk to them appropriately so that you can capture a bigger share of their spend, right? So it changes the way you plan and it changes the way you evaluate the programs. And you're right, Michelle, it's both amazing that it's compared to other mover data, but it also changes the mindset of the retailer, right? Because they're looking at their consumer base as in who is going to be the most valuable consumer over the next 12 weeks? Oh, it's these people planning to move now. And then how do I plan my media spend so that most of my spend is going to the consumers that are going to be most valuable over the next 12 weeks? Right? Which is different than how much am I going to spend on this social channel? How much am I going to spend on this TV commercial and that sort of thing?
Yep. Yeah, well, those case studies especially speak to a lot of what we talked about, which is really just that predictability, effectiveness, and love the bake-off results on the right and just the overall business results on the left. I mean, what amazing results. Especially in the home retailer industry, when you look at, a large part of their business is B2B. It's their professionals and their contractors, but also, in capturing those B2C consumers in that move event or as they're home shifting, I'd like to say, again, how do you capture them early and keep them coming back during that whole homeowner journey? We all know when somebody has a good experience, especially think of those first-time home buyers, and how they set their behavior and their brand loyalties early as they're shifting in that wide swath of verticals that affects those first-time home buyers, and how important it is to get them early. And obviously on the right, your ability to prove your superiority and predictability, just a business customer couldn't ask for more. Again, I know I was in that space in 2 industries, and at the time, these types of results were definitely hard to come by.